I'm gonna share with you 10 side hustles that I've personally tried, some of which have quite literally made me millions of dollars, and some of which probably aren't worth your time. If you're new here, hi, I'm Molly. I started as a broke college dropout with just 81 cents to my name and leveraged that into a multiple six-figure per year photography studio. I then started creating free content online for other photographers, and I leveraged that into a 2 million per year online business. And now I help content creators like you monetize your content with digital info products so you can help your audience further and make a full-time living doing what you love. Okay, so the very first side hustle we're gonna be talking about is selling on Etsy. So one of the things I did in college as a side hustle, really just trying to make enough money to buy groceries, was I created resin jewelry and sold it on Etsy. I ended up only doing it for a couple of months because it was so much work making all of these different earrings that I wasn't even sure people were going to buy. In fact, I didn't even make that many sales. There was so much competition on Etsy, I couldn't charge enough, even if I was to charge $50 for a pair of earrings, which is a lot, but you have to keep in mind the cost to make the earrings, your time to make the earrings, which is a lot, by the way. Plus they charge you a little bit per every single listing. And from what I understand, the listings expire after a while and then you have to redo the listings. Also, to play the Etsy game in today's world, you're gonna have to probably run Etsy ads, which is gonna cost money as well. So for me, the profit margin and then also the amount of money you can make versus the time on Etsy just isn't worth it for me. So that's why I'm gonna rate this about a 2 out of 10. Okay, the second side hustle we're gonna talk about is reselling things on Facebook Marketplace or maybe even eBay. So in high school and college, my friends and I would go thrifting a lot and I would find a lot of cool items and I would try to resell them on eBay. Now, of course, I think Facebook Marketplace is really good. It just didn't exist back then. The cool thing about Facebook Marketplace is people can actually drive to your house and pick up the item. So you're not having to pay for like the packaging and the shipping and the time and the driving to the shipping store and all of that stuff. Now, the upside of this is I feel like literally anyone could do this. Like you don't really have to have a lot of skills to do this. You know, if you really like shopping, going to thrift stores, you could easily just spend your time going and finding cool items and reselling them. Now, of course, the downside is that first of all, you'd have to know what are the cool items, what items are gonna sell, probably do some research, also going to the stores, doing a lot of shopping because it's not like you just show up to a Goodwill and there's all these cool items that you know you're gonna be able to resell for more of a value. So again, I would give this a 6 out of 10. And although personally, I never made thousands of dollars a month with this, I do know people on TikTok that are making a couple $1,000s a month or more doing this. And the cool thing is that it is really high profit margins as well. Okay, so the third side hustle is blogging, and this is absolutely one of my favorites, but be sure that you stay until side hustle number 10 because this is the one that helped me make my first dollar and really changed everything for me. Now, blogging is how I started my very first real following online. I started blogging about 1 to 2 times per week, very consistently to build that following and then eventually move them to email subscribers to build my email list. Once I had my following in place, I was able to easily sell them digital products and courses, which we'll talk about in a little bit here. That ended up making me $254,000 my very first year doing this. Yeah, seriously. I started this as a side hustle when I had my photography studio because I was pretty burnt out trading my time for money. I wanted a way to have more leverage. I wanted a way to scale my business without only directly trading my time for money. And I had a lot of photographers coming up to me wanting help. So I thought, well, I'll just create a blog and share my free tips. And then once I had a following, I was able to sell digital products and courses and make $254,000 in my very first year doing this. I would give this 5 out of 10 stars because although I love blogging and it's how I got started, I feel like in today's world, there are better and faster ways to grow a following online, which I'll talk about in a little bit. And if you're wanting to move your following, no matter how big or small, to email subscribers so you can start selling digital info products to start making passive income every single month, then go in the description below this video. I have a free email list building funnel that you can just put in your name and email address, get it for free. It comes with the exact funnel template, email scripts, and even a Canva template so you can create a freebie to move your followers to email subscribers so that you can sell them digital info products. And you never know, you might end up making $254,000 in your first year too. Okay, so the fourth side hustle is, you guessed it, digital products. As I shared with you from the last side hustle idea, digital products are quite literally what made me $254,000 my first year and went on to make me over $8 million in revenue to date. Turns out that people are happy to buy things from you when you actually have a good product and solve a problem for them. Now, I would give this side hustle an 8 out of 10 because it is work up front to build a following to actually sell to, but the upside of this side hustle is huge. I do not know anyone who has made $8 million from Etsy. And when you have your own following and your own website, you're not paying different fees. You're not paying Etsy a transaction fee or a listing fee or paying for ads. You can simply build your following organically, figure out what their biggest problem is, and create a digital product or two to solve that problem and truly help your audience. Okay, so the fifth side hustle idea is pet sitting. Now, this is something that I did in high school. There were different friends of my mom, especially from her work, that had pets and they would go on vacation and they would pay me to actually live at their house for the weekend and just watch their dogs and their cat or whatever. Now, the cool thing is in today's world, they have an app called Rover. So instead of going to someone's house or having to spend the time at this person's house, they can actually book you via Rover and they can actually drop their pets off at your house. So I think this is a really cool side hustle, especially if you have a 9 to 5 or you're already doing something, because people could drop, 1 or 2 dogs off at your house and you could be watching them while you're working if you work from home. And then you could just take breaks to like walk them and take care of them and give them cutie boy attention. I love pets, and Aaron and I are actually pretty big users of the Rover app. We've used it about 3 or 4 different times when we've gone on vacation to use Rover sitters to actually watch our dog. And I will say it's been pretty hit or miss. We've had some pretty good experiences. We've had one pretty not good experience. But the cool thing is once you do find a good Rover sitter, then you can keep using them, which is great. If you are a Rover sitter, then you can keep getting repeat clients. So it's not as much work to like get those initial clients, right? But I would give it a 6 out of 10 because it's definitely not as lucrative as other side hustle ideas that I've shared. But I will say I have found people online making $1,000 to $2,000 extra every single month just watching animals on Rover, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, now the sixth side hustle that I will recommend is affiliate marketing. But before you run, I'm not talking about scammy affiliate marketing where you just get a bunch of affiliate links and spam them everywhere. That is not at all what I'm talking about. I'm also not talking about Amazon Associates affiliate marketing because let's be real, they pay out basically nothing. However, the affiliate marketing I am talking about is when you already grow your own following, then you can hand select a few different products to promote to your audience. And this way they typically pay 30, 40, or even 50% of the sale. Let's say I have a following of entrepreneurs who want to scale from 6 figures to 7 figures, but I don't teach like growing a team or processes or all those things to scale a business, right? So I might find somebody who has a course or a program on that who's gonna pay me 30, 40, or 50%, which by the way is really industry normal, okay? So then I can promote that person's product to my following. And let's say they're charging $2,000 for this and I'm making 50%, that's $1,000 per sale. And what's so cool is I'm not having to do the customer service or the delivery or anything like that. I'm simply just recommending this program. And by the way, I only ever recommend things that I've actually done. So one of the things that I'm an affiliate for now is the software that I use to run my entire online digital products business. It's called System.io. And if you want to know what an affiliate link looks like, go in the description below this video. There's an affiliate link for System.io. What's cool is that if you click that link, you're actually going to get a free System.io account. This is an unlimited time account. You can have it for up to so many email subscribers. And what's cool is that if you do use that link and you do end up upgrading to a paid account, I will get a percentage of that sale. And actually, I believe I get a percentage of every recurring payment as well, which is pretty cool. But again, I'm not just promoting willy-nilly random things to my audience. I'm only promoting the things that I actually use, which is key. Now, I would give this side hustle 7 out of 10 because the upside can be big and you're not having to do the delivery or the customer service or anything like that. But of course, you do need to build a following up front. So you're probably seeing a theme here. If you build a following, you're gonna be able to monetize that and leverage that in helping a lot of people and making a lot of money. Okay, the seventh side hustle that I wanna share with you is YouTube. Now, I started my channel in 2021, but I didn't really get serious about it until 2023. The cool thing is that I am very, very close to being monetized. So keep following along, and thank you so much for watching my videos because it really does help my channel. And I hope that if you're watching the videos, you're finding them very helpful. So although I'm not making an income from YouTube AdSense directly yet, I do have friends that are making money directly from AdSense that are making anywhere from $30,000 to $100,000 a year. And if you're not familiar with how YouTube AdSense works, basically once you get 4,000 public watch hours, you can become monetized with YouTube AdSense. And that means that people are allowed to then run ads on your channel and you get paid a percentage of those ads. So it's less about subscribers and more about public watch hours. The cool thing about YouTube though is even though I'm not monetized with YouTube AdSense yet, I still made just under $400,000 last year from my YouTube and Instagram content because I'm selling digital products. So you don't have to wait until you're monetized, but it can be really good side hustle money. So that's why I wanted to mention it. So I would give YouTube as a side hustle 6 out of 10 because it is a lot of hard work. I'm not gonna lie, growing a YouTube channel for most people isn't easy. However, the upside is so massive. Okay, so side hustle number 8 is online courses. This one is just like digital products, but instead of being able to sell a digital product for around $9 to $97, you can sell an online course for anywhere between $297 and $1,997 typically. Again, you do need a following to sell to. As I shared, I grew my very first following with blogging, and I grew my following for my current business through YouTube and Instagram. And because you can price online courses so high and really get people such an amazing result, you can make so much money from online courses. I remember when I built my blog following, I would be able to do a push for my online course and make $50,000 in a week. I know, crazy, right? And now I really prefer to sell passively, but what's so cool is online courses still make up about 80% of my revenue. Digital products are such a great way to get started, but once you're ready to scale, an online course is such a great way to make even more money and help your followers even more on a deeper level. So I would give online courses an 8 out of 10 for a side hustle. And if you have a following, no matter how big or small, and you're interested in selling an online course, check out the link in my description below for my free online course training. It's going to show you all about my framework and strategy and give you more details on how you can monetize your following with your very own online course. Okay, my 9th side hustle idea is podcasting, where you're only needing to share your voice. And it's a bit easier to get a following than blogging. Whereas YouTube, you have to be good at script writing, speaking, and being on camera. So it really stacks all those skills, but I do feel like it has the biggest upside. Although with podcasting, what I want to share with you in terms of a side hustle is what's so cool is once you grow your podcast following, you can have sponsorships. Now, I know people making anywhere from $2,000 to $50,000 or more per month from sponsorships on their podcast episodes. Now, of course, this is going to depend on how big your podcast following is, how many downloads you get, what your niche is, what kind of sponsors you can land, but it is a really cool side hustle. Now, I would give this a 6.5 out of 10 because again, it's work up front to build a following, but the upside is you can still make a good amount of money with it and you don't have to be on video. All right, last but not least, the 10th side hustle idea is freelancing. This is how I got started with my very first business and made my very first dollar as I was freelancing as a photographer. I started out not really making a lot of money, but I was able to eventually grow a multiple 6-figure per year photography studio. Now, you don't have to do photography, of course. You could do copywriting, funnel building, organizing a house. There's so many different things that you could do when it comes to freelancing. Now, the upside with freelancing is that it is a lot easier to get clients because you're not saying, I will teach you how to do said thing. You are saying, I will literally do said thing for you for X amount of dollars. However, the downside is you are quite literally trading your time for money. So it's not that far away from a job, right? Because you're basically clocking in with a client. And the other downside is you have to keep getting clients, whereas you don't have to do that with a job. You get paid per hour, like with freelancing, but with freelancing, you have to find your own clients. However, I do think this is a really good one to get started with, especially if you have a skill in mind. Because again, this is one of the easiest things to sell because again, you are just doing the thing for them. I would give this a 7 out of 10, especially if you've never had a business before, you've never made $1 before, you don't have a following at all, and you have a skill that you want to use to trade your time for money. I think this could be a good side hustle for you. So as you can see, out of all 10 side hustles, the ones that are going to make you the most money are going to be work up front to build a following. So it's really up to you. Let me know in the comments below which of these side hustles do you think sounds the most interesting, and which of these side hustles are you gonna try? Now, if you're interested in monetizing your following no matter how big or small, and you're just not sure which digital product to create, then I want you to check out this video here next, because in this video, I'm gonna go over a bunch of different digital product ideas to get your wheels spinning and find one that will work for you. Thanks again for watching. I hope you'll subscribe for more. See you in the next video.